Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Hi, NRE. We're looking forward to seeing some more good mornings in the chat here. Those of you, I want to check over on Instagram. I got to look in a different place for Instagrams. Sorry, folks. All right. Welcome to our live Q&A that we do here every Saturday at 10 a.m. For those of you who don't know, NuSpecies is a natural health company. Our mission is to help our clients live better and longer. We invent and manufacture our own line of high-potency, plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. And all of our formulas were invented and designed by Aston to be powerful, potent, and high quality and safe in order to help your body be, or all of our bodies, be resistant or resilient against the toughest of health challenges. But a good health choice for you may not be a good health choice for someone else. And that is why we host this Q&A, so that you can get answers to your questions that will help you continue along your own unique health journey. And it affords us a great opportunity to provide the education necessary, especially just with so many changing things in the world. It's just great to be able to connect with you live, stay plugged into what's affecting you right now, and make sure that we are continuing to provide the most relevant products and services for your health. So thank you so much for being here. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Each of you individually are only seeing the chats that you have on your platform. We're seeing the chats from every platform. If you hear me reading questions or responding to comments that you're not seeing, it's only because it might be on another platform. A lot of the activity does happen on YouTube though. So if you're on Facebook or Instagram, feel free to hop on over to YouTube if you want to participate more actively in the chat. All right. Hi, Winston. Good morning, Headley. Good morning, Grand Rising. Hi, Cheryl, Althea, Wayne, June. Thank you all so much for being here. Continue to say hi to us. We know some of you are driving, so we'll forgive that. All right, Aston, last week was amazing with Jacqueline on the show.
Yes, she was a star, and we're looking for more stars.
Mm-hmm.
And those of you who volunteered to, tell your story, it's gonna help other people. Since Jacqueline was on, I've had at least a dozen, 2 dozen people, whether they came to the Bronxville office or they call me on the phone, they chat me, and they're just amazed about Jacqueline and her husband's story, and encourage. Nothing can tell a better story than the person who actually is getting the help, which is you. And it doesn't have to be as extraordinary as Jacqueline called it, miracles. It could be you just feeling better from headaches. Your lab reports are better. You can just come on and tell your story, and you don't have to reveal. You know that we will never reveal the intimacies of your health battles. We would never reveal that. Wives and husbands, you know that. I don't discuss wives' issues with their husbands. I don't discuss husband issues with their wives, because some people don't want their husbands to know or their wives to know, and we don't care. So we're always going to protect you, protect your information. We know that some of you still work, or most of you still work, and we don't want your job to know. But so we will still protect your information against your employers and your family. So you can tell us a story just to say NuSpecies helps you, and that's good enough. So feel free to come on and talk with us. You can do it live like Jacqueline did, or you could talk with us off camera, or we could talk to you not live, and we can edit it, and a lot of you are shy and not want to make mistakes. So yes, we can edit out anything that you don't like. So please feel free to do that.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, last week, Jacqueline, one of our wonderful clients, Jacqueline Calder, came live on the show and told her story. And she basically just took over the show and told her story and her husband's story and her son's story. And she's just had a wonderful experience. And yeah, like Aston said, I mean, she was in her home. She walked around her home. She gave every detail about every single thing. Very forthcoming. And as many of you had said, she was very transparent and honest, and down to her skepticism of NuSpecies when she first found out about us, to every aspect of the journey. And you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to, but just having real live faces up on the show saying that you trust NuSpecies, that you have worked with us, maybe just the process of learning about NuSpecies and getting started using our formulas. Not everybody who uses our products have a disease or is sick. There's plenty of healthy people who use our formulas to stay healthy. So you can speak very high level. Believe me, any sort of statement from another human who isn't part of NuSpecies saying that they believe in what we do is a huge asset, not just to us, but to everyone else out there trying to sift through the incredibly complex nutritional industry, the craziness that happens on social media where everyone is a doctor today. Everyone is on there trying to give advice and sell you products and things. It is so hard to know what is true and what isn't. We come on live here because we know you shouldn't just trust us randomly either. We want to be transparent with you, and we're not a good fit for everyone. So hearing your story can help someone else make a good informed decision. And it's really wonderful if you can come on. So like Aston said, it can be pre-recorded so we can get on the same platform together, not live on the show. And we can talk out your story. We can mark it for areas that you wanted to cut out or that didn't come out right. You can fix what you wanted to say, make sure that your hair is nice and your closing, whatever you feel needs to be to come on. You can do it. And then we can edit it and send it to you in advance for approval before we put it on the show. So please consider it. Just reach out to us. We can put up the number and email, and you can just reach out to our normal office line and tell anyone who answers that you wanted to get on the show, and me or Mary will reach out to you to set it up.
Right.
So we hope you do.
This is your way of saying to other people out there who need help, who maybe as hesitant or you are as you are or were, and now you're where you are, is to say to them, you're suffering, you have nowhere else to go, your doctors are not able to help you. A lot of you telling me you speak with 5, 10, even 15 doctors and get no help, and other organizations, you get no help. Is for you to say to them, NuSpecies work for me, and hopefully it will work for you. That's all you're saying. NuSpecies helped you, or help your family members or your friends that you know of, and it may just work for you to ease your suffering, and that's what it's all about.
Right. And maybe you want to actually just talk out a health issue and do it live with us on the show rather than like furiously trying to type into your phone in the chat to get all the points out you're trying to make. We could even just do a live conversation about health, and you can be part of our show having that conversation. So there's plenty of options of how you can contribute. All right. I have a couple other announcements, but I want to get to a question or an update first. So we've got an update from June. June, I'm so happy to see this. June says, an update on my MSM. So for those of you who don't know, June had brought up a few weeks ago that she thought when she was taking the MSM, or she knew she was feeling like heart flutters. When she had stopped taking it, they went away. And we were kind of baffled because we've never heard that before. And it would be a crazy coincidence, but we weren't sure what was going on. So she says that she stopped for a few weeks. She started back with just one. Now she's taking 2 in the morning and is having no problem. I told you I wasn't giving up. Amazing. That's so great, because we get it.
Wonderful.
Like, people are scared when they're sick or they have issues that they're trying to repair, and then they start taking our products, and literally anything that happens to your body, you're just like ready to be like, is it the NuSpecies? Whether it's bad or good. And sometimes you give us credit long before we deserve it. And sometimes you blame us when we don't deserve it. But we understand health is complicated. So June, I am so happy to hear that you gave that another shot and it's working out so far. But of course, keep us informed if anything changes.
Right. And this is a really wonderful example, June, why we stay in touch with all our clients worldwide. We have an open line, open email, open chat, open video, face-to-face in our stores. We just make ourselves completely available to all our clients because everyone has their own, whether it's something we didn't do well or something we did well. And we just want to have an open line to all of you to discuss whatever issues, concerns you have. And that's why we do what we do. And we're so open book. We're actually completely open book. Those of you who come to the NuSpecies stores or offices, you could see that. You walk in without an appointment and you're able to discuss your issues openly. And you do it openly before other clients who are there, which means that we have nothing to hide from anyone. If you have an issue, maybe other clients have the similar issues and want to get them resolved. So we don't do things behind closed door unless you ask us to. So if any of you out there have any issues or concerns about new species, let us know. We want to do the best we can to help as many people as possible.
Absolutely. Perlene is asking, why don't we have any more Brooklyn stores? We hear you,
Mm,
Perlina. We do now have a Brooklyn, it's an office, it's a second floor space. It's in Marine Park. We haven't fully announced it yet because we don't have official hours where we can commit to being open. So we've had this space since January, early January, and we just I actually have an interview with a what it seems to be a very strong candidate on Monday, and my hope is that he's going to work out and be able to have some regular hours at the store so that you can go there. The great thing is it's like a beautiful residential area, but there's this one little strip of businesses, and the parking seems to be, unless there's a funeral, which is not often, the parking seems to be very easy. And we think we will enjoy this location. We have a wonderful partner and new species client, Yelena, who will be spending time there as well. So we think you will, we think you will like shopping there. And hopefully it's not too far off if you do all your errands at King's Plaza or something. You just drive another 10 or 15 minutes and get to our store and get it all out of the way when you do your errands.
all right, so Yelena Schatz, so you all know, some of you may be talking with her already. She is partner with us. She's a family nurse practitioner, and she's been helping us to get those of you who can't get labs done and get referrals to specialists. And among other medical needs you have, she's been very proactive in helping a lot of our clients to cut through all that stuff that their health insurance is not allowing them to do. So we're hoping that we can get Brooklyn rolling in another month or two. So yes, it's been there, sitting there since January, closed up, but we're working on make sure we have it properly staffed.
Yeah. So Perlina, if you are on our email list or our text list or our app where we send push notifications to your phone, all three of those places is where we will immediately notify everyone as soon as our Brooklyn store has or office has official hours. So you haven't missed anything, and you will know as soon as anything changes. But yeah, where we were located over in Canarsie, it just was a tough area. There wasn't like a prominent like little residential commercial area there. It was hard to find people long term to work in the store. We were closed for months at a time. So it just no longer was a good fit for what we were trying to do. And we had to close that store. So, it's been a hit for us and we know it's been a hit for you guys. So we definitely were working toward a solution and we have one now. All right. Good morning, Whistler. Hi, Diana. Got Evad. Trevor. Got Are You Free Enough? Hi, Fitzgerald. All right. Let's catch up. Winston, good morning. All right. So please go ahead and keep submitting your questions. I'm keeping an eye on Instagram and everywhere else. Perlina, which is your best product for energy boosting?
I can tell you my favorite. My favorite energy formula is taking 1 ounce of Super Caveman, the LNU25. Take 1 ounce, and within minutes, I can feel myself want to fly, literally. I'm not sure if it's true for those of you who do that, but that's my favorite energy formula, and it keeps me energized the whole day just taking that 1 ounce. And then, but we have other energy formulas. We actually have the energy formula that's called Fiery Focus. And you should only take it in the mornings if you do take it, because if you take it in the afternoon or at night, it could keep you up all night. It does give a lot of energy. And then the third is our B vitamins with vitamin C. And any of these formulas, whether Caveman, the Super Caveman, the LU25, or the B vitamins, or the energy formula, the Fire Focus, you can take as much as you want to take in any given day. It will not hurt you. Whatever the excesses are, your body will excrete. You cannot overdose on taking NuSpecies. It's completely natural. It has the enzymes and amino acids and other phytonutrients in there to ensure that any excess is excreted and without any harm to your body. We've been doing this for over 20 years, so we know that to be absolutely true. Alrighty? And I want to
And the
say,
other, yeah.
yes,
Oh,
go ahead. Mhm.
I was going to say just about energy in general. If there is, like some people underestimate how impactful on their body any kind of diagnosis they may have is. So, like, you have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, or any kind of other burden that your body's dealing with. That even if your medication is, working and your levels are normal, that doesn't mean that your body is still not burdened by this condition, which can zap your energy. You may not be sleeping as soundfully as you think you are. Your body may not be functioning as optimally as you think it is. And so low energy could actually be a symptom of a deeper problem. And then if that is the case, it's good to discuss all of those things to be sure that you don't need something a bit more than just fiery focus or the B vitamins.
Mhm.
But it's a budget friendly way to get started because some people, these formulas, even if they have a lot of other stuff going on, they kind of take that edge off that just makes them feel better, and that's what they can afford, and that's the results they were looking for, and they're not ready to dive into all the rebuilding stuff. And we're happy to continue just to support you that way if it's what works for you.
Right.
Okay. Well, Aston, you were going to say something else about energy?
Oh, I was going to branch off into a couple of reminders in women's health. A lot of the
Oh, okay.
ladies have been coming to us and they have energy issues. And what I'm seeing with a lot of those ladies and men as well, but especially ladies, is that you have hormonal issues and you don't know. You have hormonal imbalance and you don't know. So, ladies, this is a very simple way to know if you have a hormonal issue. Do you have fibroid? If you have fibroids or fibroid, you have a hormonal issue. You have a chronic hormonal issue, actually. If you have ovarian cysts, you have a chronic hormonal issue. Endometriosis, you have dense breasts, you have breast lumps, you have thyroid issues, thyroid nodules. Those are some of the ways to determine that you have a hormonal issue. And even heavy menstrual menopause is a big, big one. A lot of older women, over 40 are now saying to me they are developing heart disease, and a lot of it can be caused from hormonal imbalance, especially if you're having a menopausal symptom. That could be a sign that you're developing heart disease, you're developing bone issues, osteoarthritis. These are side effects of just having menstrual issues or having being in menopause. So now I'm picking on you ladies to remind you, is because don't want to frighten you, but a lot of the women who are coming to us with cancer, or ovarian cancer, or uterine cancer, endometrial cancer, breast cancer, thyroid cancer, a lot of women, and some of them are young women in their 40s, 50s, even 30s and 20s. They have these hormonal issues and didn't know. The doctors don't have any medication, ladies, to fix your hormonal imbalance. There's no medication. Even if you do hormone therapy, it's not going to fix your hormonal imbalance. So if you have any of these symptoms and your doctors are not able to help you early on, how are they going to help you when it's late, when it's worse? Surgery is not help. Chemo, radiation, not help. So I want you all, if you have any of these symptoms, to avoid them. Start eating better, exercise, eat a lot of raw foods, drink, a lot of water. Stay away from certain foods that have hormones, like meat products, dairy products, soy products. Although soy is good for some women, it may not be good for others, because not some, all soy has estradiol, which will allow the body to make more estrogen. So if you have an estrogen issue, you shouldn't be eating soy. So these are some of the tips that I want all you ladies, and please bring your daughters on, even if they're 10 years old. We have clients, we have children, 9-year-olds getting their menstrual cycle, girls. So let them listening to these Q&As that we're having. Bring them on, tie them up, tie them to the table. Let them listen in. and let them start learning from now that if they have certain symptoms, they don't hide it from you. They tell you, based on the knowledge that they're going to get from us here, because a lot of your daughters and your granddaughters in their teens and 20s and 30s didn't know, even 40s didn't know they have hormonal issues. And they know only when they have cancer and they're dying. That's when they know, even though they had the issue for years and didn't tell your mothers, didn't tell your fathers, didn't tell your grandparents. So I'm beseeching you to start proactively educating the girls in your family and in your community, in your church, in your organization. And as for you, men, it's no different when it comes to prostate disease and prostate cancer. A lot of men are getting prostate diseases in their 20s and 30s. And your boys, and that goes for you ladies, your boys should be telling you when they have this issue, not hide it. And I'm beseeching you because it hurts us when we see all these people coming in, especially the young people, and they're sick and they're dying. They're literally sick and they're dying. And we know that if the medical doesn't work for them, they may not even have access to NuSpecies. They're going to die. And then you come to us at the last moment when chemo and radiation have destroyed their bone marrow, destroyed their hearts, and the cancer spread. And then the whole family comes to NuSpecies looking for a miracle. So please take heed to that.
And for women, perimenopause can start affecting us as early as 35. And lots of, or even if it starts in the 40s, the main interventions that are going to be natural should really begin at age 35. We need a lot of time to reverse a lot of damage we've done to our bodies from just our modern lifestyles in general. One of the things that, Aston, it's often we forget it in the list, but it's detoxifying your lifestyle. A lot of the stuff that you put on your body or expose yourself to in your home every day are toxins that actually are considered endocrine disruptors. So these are chemicals that actually severely impact your endocrine system, which is the series of glands that secrete or create hormones into our bloodstream. And if that system is disrupted in whatever way, we're going to have these scary hormonal problems. One of the things that we can look out for as women, and as those of you who love women in your life, is if you're starting to not feel like yourself anymore, if you are forgetting things, if you're feeling like you have foggy brain, if parts of your body is starting to hurt when normally it didn't, there's a lot of early signs where we just don't feel the same. Or as a man, your girlfriend, your daughter, your husband, your wife, you might be thinking, gosh, she's just changing. It could just be hormones literally changing us. And it's not just getting older. Like, yes, is perimenopause and menopause a part of getting older? Sure. But we don't have to suffer and completely erode the way that women have for centuries. So I think it's important that if you're seeing any of those early signs of things not being the same, it could just be that doctors have not talked to us about perimenopause or about menopause. I know that I turned 40 and no doctor said to me, hey, by the way, what is your plan for perimenopause? I have to, just because I'm like obsessed with studying everything about health and science and all that kind of stuff, I come across this stuff myself. I never stop listening to podcasts and reading books, but that's part of my job, is to educate myself, to pass on education to you. Most people can't do that. So how are we learning about this? We're just not, right? So first identify if you think there's an issue, and then let NuSpecies be part of whatever aspect of that treatment or health goal you have can be. NuSpecies will take our piece of the pie. Headley says, so Headley says, I'm a NuSpecian over a decade. My wife was always reluctant to use the products. However, after getting rid of her chronic cough from using the NuGenesis, to my surprise, she told me last night that she ordered her next bottle of NuGenesis, and she's now totally on board. Only NuSpecies helped her. Her doctors could not solve her chronic cough. You're the man, Aston. Thanks for all you do.
Well, you're welcome, and this goes for all of you. If you have an issue, we talk about energy just now. Energy, I know you all don't know what energy is, but I'm not going to go into the science of it because Jillian is not going to like me to get into too many details. So
Well, make the point first and
I'm,
then like
I'm
go
not
down into more detail.
I'm not going to go into the details of it, but energy is when our cells, I'm not going to go into the scientific aspects of it, when our cells are creating the energy that our bodies need to support itself. And this relates to the immune system. If you have low energy, you're likely going to have a low immune system. If your immune system is low, it's likely that viruses, bacteria, parasites will proliferate in your body, in our bodies very quickly. So energy is everything. When we have good energy, great energy, it means our bodies are fighting. Our bodies are at tip-top shape to fight viruses, fight bacteria, fight cancer cells, fight blood pressure, fight diabetes, fight all diseases. So when you start feeling weaker, and if it prolongs into days or weeks, it means your body is breaking down. You have a lot of inflammation, a lot of chemicals in your bloodstream choking out the oxygen, because it means your body is deoxygenated. It doesn't have enough oxygen. The body can't make energy without oxygen. So ladies, for you, it's even more devastating, especially if you're having your cycle and it's heavy and you're losing a lot of hemoglobin, and your bone marrow is not strong enough to make back the blood within 30 days. And that is one of the root causes of cancers, ladies, whether it's breast cancer, ovarian cancer, endometrial cancer, thyroid cancer. Just think back in your health history when you were anemic and your doctors, as Jillian said nothing to you. Your body is breaking down if you don't have enough hemoglobin, if you don't have enough blood. Your body is getting weaker and weaker. The immune system is getting weaker and weaker. And that's why women have so many different cancers in all these glands that I just mentioned. So when you have this simple issue, don't ignore it. If you have dense breasts, you should be frightened, because most of the women who are getting breast cancer is because they have lumps in their breasts. They have fibrocystic breasts. What that means is that if you have dense breasts or fibrocystic breasts, it means, ladies, that you have tissue in your breast that's so hard, it's not getting blood circulation. The cells are dying. And when the genes kind of half die, they mutate, and over time they turn malignant because enough blood, enough oxygen, enough energy is not getting to these lumps. That's why these lumps are hard, or they're tight, or they're stiff. They're very hard in some cases. They're calcified in other cases with calcium. That's why if you have high calcium, you likely have cancer cells in your bodies. So please take heed, fix these issues. Don't wait for your body to turn to cancer, because most people do not survive cancer when they get it. Even with chemo, radiation, surgery, most people don't survive it. Within 10 years, they die. And
Mm.
for others, within a year or a few years, they die. So that's the message I want to bring to you, ladies, today. Based on everything I'm telling you, is what we see are happening at our NuSpecies health centers. When I talk with you, when you visit me, you give me your labs. Everything we say is based on facts, is what we see. I don't have to read the CDC. I don't have to read scientific reports, research reports. I don't have to. We don't have to. You are a microcosm of what's happening in the whole world, and we see it daily, hourly. All right.
Mhm. And it's just as far as like I forgot earlier to do my normal list of things that could be disrupting your hormonal system, and this goes for men too, by the way. So it's really important to take a second look at all of the body products that you're using, from your shampoo, conditioner. Maybe you're going to a salon and getting certain kinds of treatments done on your hair. Though those are all chemicals that are extremely dangerous. Your deodorant, perfume, your lotion, toothpaste, mouthwash, your anything else you put on your body, your laundry detergent, your laundry softener. Could be absolutely your cleaning products, especially the ones that you use on a daily basis. So for your household, and then just especially if you live in a newer construction, pretty much every single material used to build your home, all the furniture you put in your home, your carpets, the paint that's on the walls, all these things are off-gassing chemicals that are
Mm-hmm.
destroying our bodies. This is why it
Mm-hmm.
is not a surprise to me when every time I turn around, someone else has cancer. Even people who try to live as healthfully as possible, we are all still going to have health challenges because we are fighting against an extremely toxic environment. So, air purifiers in your house, because you can't change out your walls, and most likely you can't afford to go buy all new furniture. You know, who can do that? Carpets are expensive. These are all things that if you have a really good air purifier, you can help reduce exposure to those toxins. Oh, yeah, your mattress, your pillows, your pillowcases, your sheets. These are things you sleep in this every night for 8 hours and you're just
Okay, we should
breathing
go. We should go live in
fire
the air,
retardants.
float away from Earth. But it's that bad. It's that bad. It's that bad.
Yeah, it
It's
really
actually
is. I
that
mean,
bad.
it
Yeah.
sounds like when I was learning about this over the last 15 years, every time I learned about a new thing that was killing me, I was just like, oh my God, this is impossible. But no, it's not impossible. You can slowly switch out these things over time. Some of the biggest things are, especially your exposure to plastics. So a lot of like really cheap clothing that are made with lots of synthetic materials have microplastics in them. And this stuff gets in our water supply, it gets into the oceans, it
Mm-hmm.
is in our, we're breathing in these chemicals just on our clothing alone. So, just trying to buy more natural materials or like slightly higher quality clothing and then just wear them longer, right? The cheap stuff doesn't last very long anyway. And then you're replacing it and you're spending the money anyway. So buy something of better quality, more natural materials. And I would really consider replacing your mattress. That would be a big expense, but I mean, if you just research the fire retardants that are in most mattresses and what they actually do to your health, I am sure you will see it's a worthwhile investment. Like anything that I could do to change out my mattress, I would. Aston and I bought a natural mattress like 15 years ago, sleeping on the same mattress, and we'll use it as long as it possibly can. And then when we replace it, it will be replaced with another natural mattress. I'm happy to help provide some guidance on this and also give you some links to the people who really do this I follow other people who do this for their life. Like they study this stuff full time and are constantly updating us about different products that are non-toxic. So there are many things you can do. I'd say your body products are an easy switch. Your cleaning products in your household are an easy switch, and getting an air purifier and just avoiding food and products packaged in plastic and a water filter for your house. Like those would be three real things you could do right away that are not super cost prohibitive and that will make a huge difference in your exposure to these toxins.
And one
Okay.
quick statement to
Mm-hmm.
enforce your decision as to what you're going to do starting now at your home with your family and especially with your children who are innocent. You got to understand now that companies are making things a lot cheaper. And because they're making them cheaper, they're making them in labs. They're making them from chemicals. What even wood, your chair, your carpets, a lot of those things can now be made in laboratories from chemical structures or synthetic structures. So just think about the homes that are being built that have fabricated walls. They're not, it's not natural cement from the earth. It's not the natural chemistry from the earth. A lot of these materials are now, remade in labs. So that's why they're so toxic. And then they have to use plastic. Plastic is one of the most common material they use to weave into a lot of the materials they use to make furniture or chairs. And you have to understand that they give off all these particles in your home, and it's one of the reasons why so many people are getting all these diseases at a young age. And finally, no politics here, please. But based on what we're seeing with the federal government today, we don't know whether the FDA is going to be able to protect us the way it used to, because we're downsizing a lot across the federal government, and especially, the federal government employees around the world who police things abroad before they come to the United States, in all these countries. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have to assume that there will be less vigilance on all these foods and materials that are coming into the United States and coming into our homes and our dinner table. So you now have to say, Uncle Sam can't do it all. I got to start doing some of this policing myself. So you just don't go out and just buy things and dump them in your house and assume that Uncle Sam is looking at everything. Uncle Sam never was. Uncle Sam has never been doing that completely. And now it could get worse, could get worse. So you now have to take on the responsibility to protect yourselves and protect your children and your grandchildren. It's your job now. And maybe that's where it should be. It should be your job, our job. It shouldn't be the government's job to be our grandparents. So please take heed and be proactive.
We can keep talking about this too. And there's the blog post I'd already written on our website a long time ago, which I still use all those same products, even since I wrote that post. So I link you out to a lot of the products that we have been using for years. So we could probably try to find it and put the link in. I'm not sure if Mary can pull it up. I just tried to search it quickly and didn't find it. So Mary can try to help us with that. In the meantime, oh yeah, and then of course, yes, women's menstrual products. Someone just typed plastic is even used with pads. So tampons, pads. I try to buy the ones that supposedly say that they are all natural organic cotton, but I mean, they literally put toxins like bleach in these products that we are putting inside of our bodies. It's just unbelievable. So yes, even your menstrual products, ladies, please switch those out too. Okay, Diana says that she has a chronic cough. I was asking if she wanted to provide more detail, but I don't know if there's anything in general. I know you do talk to people who say they have a chronic cough. You hear that a lot, right?
Right. So usually people who have coughs, chronic or otherwise, a lot of mucus, a lot of it is related to the lung. And if you have a cough that is going on for a week or two, you should rush your doctor and do an MRI to find out what's going on, because over the years, a lot of our clients who had coughs and ignored it because they could still drive and eat and travel and work and carry on their lives. A lot of those clients in the end, those coughs, they had lung cancer. And in some cases, they had the cancer there for so long, it spreads to other organs. So again, if you have a health issue, and it doesn't matter how small it is, if it goes on for a week or two, or let's say a month, and you still have that issue, you should be extremely concerned. Even if you go to the doctor and the doctor is not able to diagnose it, the medical exams will not pick up 100% of what's happening in the human body. There's no medical exam. Even when a doctor knows exactly where a tumor is, or they know where a mass is, or a nodule, and they zero in with a CT or a PET scan, they could still miss something. It happens all the time. It's what I see, people. Not making it up. It's what I see. So if you have a health issue of any kind, a lump that's not going away, you're anemic, your WBC low, your hemoglobin low, your body is headed for chronic diseases. Those two in particular. If your WBC is low, if your hemoglobin is low, not the A1C, the blood that carries the oxygen and the iron. If it's low for too long, if your WBC is low for too long, you're high risk for any cancer. All you have to do is to have an issue in an organ that wasn't bad, and then because the immune system is low, the issue those abnormal cells could start to multiply rapidly, especially if you have high testosterone, high estrogen. Those are and other genes that are dysfunctional, like HER2 or HERS2. Those are what will cause these abnormal tissue or cells to multiply rapidly, leading to cancer or even spreading cancer. So your doctors are never going to say that to you, because what's the point? There's nothing they can do about it. It's chemo, radiation, or surgery. That's it. Or immunotherapy if you qualify. You people We have to take care for ourselves. And we're here to just give you the knowledge to share with your family and friends and your children and grandchildren so it can become generational. Generational
Mhm.
knowledge. That's what we're all about here. Change the
So,
future from changing the present.
all right, Diana just elaborated that this Tuesday she will have an esophagram X-ray. She just started having this cough around 2 months. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of a
So
long
that's long
time.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to scare you, Diana, but my mom had a dry cough for it was 1 month, then it went on 2 months, then it went on 3 months, and she kept going back to the doctor, and they kept saying, "Oh, maybe it's pneumonia, or you just have, just a post-viral cough," and then it was maybe you have pneumonia, and then it took 4 months for her to finally get diagnosed with lung cancer. And by then it was stage 4. And that's very common with lung cancer because it is so hard to, like, it's not necessarily hard to diagnose, but the process you have to go through to get to the diagnosis, like they have to have a justification to keep ordering the next level of tests that eventually show that there's cancer. So, 2 months could be a standard antiviral cough, a post-viral cough, but
Hmm.
it's still long to start to wonder and
Hmm.
definitely be aggressive about it. Um, Diana says I also have some heartburn. That could just be, I don't know if there's any connection there. Um, I know some people's heartburn can be the kind where you like feel that little lump in your throat. So you don't necessarily have the burning, but you have that little lump in your throat, which could be uncomfortable and cause you to cough. So maybe there's some correlation there. I don't know. Could just
Right.
very likely, a lot of people have heartburn. So it could just be two things happening at once.
So
Um,
you can also
yeah.
get a endoscopy done as well if you haven't done one. A lot of people have coughs because of acid reflux or gastric issues or gastritis. So if you get an endoscopy done, that could be the simple root cause of the cough you're having. In acid reflux or GERD or some gastritis down there, inflammation down there causing it. So hopefully it's nothing serious. So get an endoscopy in there as well, and that will help.
But you're doing the right thing, getting all the tests to keep being persistent. Don't just wait to hope it's going to go away. And then also, you're obviously a NuSpecies, so make sure you're always taking the most powerful that you can within your budget, so that if there is a chance it's just the immune system or it's just something your body could correct on its own. I always say it's better to have your body corrected like before you even get a diagnosis, because the diagnosis can sometimes, a lot of times, be too late.
Right. I,
Um,
s- I see I see a comment in the chat about mold and work. I tell
yeah,
you,
I
we
was about
have
to
we have
say that.
clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients over the years, especially clients who work in the school system or they work for the state or the federal government. So they're in these old buildings that were built back in the 40s or 50s or even earlier. And we have had a lot of clients over the years who have those work environment issues and didn't know. They didn't know that,
Mhm.
and they develop all these lung diseases, asthmas, and other chronic issues with their liver. It was just devastating, sinus.
Mm.
So yes, you can't rule out any possibility when we have an issue we can't rule out, and we should not just start guessing around and, as you said, Jillian, go consult your YouTube doctor or your TikTok doctor or your Facebook social media doctor. You can't do that. You got to get a real doctor to help you determine the root cause of your issues. And it may take you a while to go in a circle to different doctors to actually nail down what's causing the issue you have. But you should never give in and say it's nothing. If the body's
Mm.
telling you something because you have a symptom, a cough, a lump, a bump, there is something. You just don't know, and your doctors don't know, and the doctors don't know everything.
Mhm.
And they will tell you that too.
Yeah, Diana says I do work in a public school, which obviously, you can't get the air in your workplace tested unless the, people who run it
State.
pay for
Hmm.
that. But even in your own home, like Camilla was saying, you could have air quality issues at home. So, um, I know when we one time had an air quality test done in our house, the guy who did it said that there's always like a normal range for mold in the air. For radon and other things in the air, there's always a normal range for that. So it's not like there should be zero. There's always going to be something, but they're looking for amounts that are higher that would actually cause health problems. So it can't hurt, but it can cost a little bit. So um, but there's so much room for improvement just in your air quality all overall, just with toxins that we bring into our own home on purpose. So I don't really know exactly, what would justify getting the mold test done or the air quality tested in your home. If budget isn't an issue and you really are concerned it could be possible, then like, yeah, Camilla said, it could be your AC behind the walls. So if you have any reason to think that could be a thing, then it's worth paying to have a test done. Are you free enough? Said blood count being low is alarming.
Oh, that's if your WBC is low, people, your body just can't develop any disease, including cancer, just any disease, because the WBC is the blood count. That's what it is. It's a white blood count. So if it's low, it means that you are not fighting with all the tools that your body is giving you to fight viruses, cancer cells, and other health issues, even chemicals, free radicals. So that's why the body would just break down naturally, and it will happen eventually. Some people's body are able to compensate very well with low WBC, but only for a while. So if you have low blood count, hemoglobin, or if you have low WBC, you should do whatever it takes to fix it. There's no medication for that. No pharmaceutical medication for that. You have to do it. And of course, we're always here as a resource for you, as advisors, health advisors for you, to tell you what you can do if you need help or when you need help.
Yes. I see you mentioned you have an air purifier, Diana. I'm just going to put a link in here to air purifiers that we've used for years. There are other air purifiers that remove the tiniest of dangerous particles from the air, but you'll notice like there's two main differences with air purifiers. You'll have the kind that seem more expensive up front, but if you look into how you have to maintain them, their filters only need to be changed like every 2 years. Whereas the air purifiers that seem to be less costly up front, you'll notice if you add up the cost of how often you have to replace the filters, they in the long run are more expensive. So we've used two different kinds. We've used Air Doctors. We have them in all of our stores. That was the first brand. And that's the one where we have to replace the filters so often that it really does become way more expensive. And the Austin Air link that I put in there, theirs seem more expensive up front, but we only have to change those filters every 2 years. I also find that I think they're a little quieter. So we use those in our house. So it's easy to go out and get an air purifier, but a lot of them on the market don't actually remove the particles that are the most dangerous, like the volatile organic compounds, the VOCs. So there's a lot of things to consider, but even with all the experts that I follow who constantly re-review and reinvestigate air purifiers every year, the Austin Air really just to stay always at the top of their recommendations. So double check that the air purifier you're using is the best one. And you want to make sure your air purifier is enough for the square footage you're hoping to purify. Because we actually, in our home and in our offices, sometimes have multiple ones to cover the square footage.
And having said that about the air, the air purifier we have, correct me if I'm wrong, you and Mary, but I think we went through the entire pandemic period and we never got COVID, at least test positive for it, and neither did our employees. I don't remember
Yeah.
where
Yep.
we have it in the stores. So that tells you
Hmm.
how good it was, and we chose it very specifically because of the kind of particles it can pick up in the air, and so I think it's something that you all should invest in, especially if
Yeah,
you
and we
have
didn't
asthma
manage.
or you have allergies, sinus issues. I think that's a very good investment for your home.
Right, and in our stores, we didn't really manage to get up any kind of blockades or anything. Like a lot of stores have the big acrylic dividers between the employees and the customers. Like that really never worked out for us. So there was definitely free flowing air between clients and our employees. So um, yeah, so I have to say the air purifier is probably very helpful. All right, I want to get into our discount that's happening right now. But I also want to remind you, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do. Our subscribers are continuing to go up very steadily, and it's very exciting because every single new subscriber is another human that we have the chance to help, and every one of you matters so much to us. So in a world where people boast about their millions of subscribers, we don't care. If we have 1,000 of you that we can help, I don't know anyone else in the world who helps 1,000 people on a regular basis. So I am grateful for every one of your subscriptions, and it does help us continue to spread the word about NuSpecies. And I know if you watch a lot of YouTube, like you hear this on every stream, but if you don't normally go hit that little subscribe button, I'd like you to do it for us right now before you leave. And I want to get into the discount. So this is our standard discount, but there's a little bit of an extra that I want to tell you about. So our bee pollen 9, the 9 potency, as you know, over the last 2 years, we've been slowly trying to simplify the design of our product label, the product line itself. We've been working on changing out some bottles and lids and making everything better. And so with the bee pollen 9, we just want to evolve it into an easier way to use it. And so we need to sell it out what we currently have already. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's not expired. It's all freshly made. But we don't want to waste. So we want to sell out everything we currently have of the bee pollen 9 so we can move over to the new packaging that we want to use. So the bee pollen 9 is 30% off right now, and it's going to stay 30% off until we sell out all the bottles. And then we want to switch over to the new packaging. So the new product won't be any different or better as far as how effective it is for you. It's just going to be a change in how we present it. So for example, currently the bee pollen 9 and the bee pollen 1 are the same size bottle. It's just per dose in the bee pollen 9, you're getting more potency. What we would rather do is, because a lot of people who need the bee pollen 9 are actually trying to take a teaspoon. So they're either putting multiple droppers in to get their full dose, or they're removing the dropper and just pouring it out. That's really not very convenient. So what we like to do is just eliminate the 2 different kinds of bee pollen, just have regular bee pollen. Just one is in a 1 ounce bottle with a dropper for the standard dose, and one will be in a 2 ounce bottle with just a screw on lid. So the people who need higher doses can just pour out the larger amount, which in turn will give them the same potency of bee pollen that you were getting when you were using multiple tubes of the bee pollen 9. And that will simplify the name of the product. There's no bee pollen 1 or 9, just bee pollen in a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce. One has a dropper, one will have a lid. And I think we just think it makes more sense for that, just to more easily, people don't say, well, what's the difference between the 1 and the 9? Now it'll just be 2 different sizes, and you'll have the appropriate lid to very easily pour the dose that you will be recommended if you need more bee pollen. So having said that, the bee pollen 9 that we have now is the same great old bee pollen we've always had. Nothing wrong with it. We just want to sell it out so we can move to the new packaging. So we're putting it 30% off, and it will stay that way until we sell them out. So if you normally depend on getting multiple bottles of bee pollen, I would take advantage of that 30% off. It's automatically discounted on the website, so you just need to add it to your cart and get 4 or 6 bottles. Maybe you're already getting 4 or 6 bottles at the full price, so you can up that to 12 bottles, and then we're excited to switch over to the new packaging. Otherwise, the discount ongoing right now is 15% off all of our full price products. So our upgraded formulas are still at their 20% off, 26% off for the 8 ounce God formulas, and 50% off for the new Genesis. But everything else that's full price is going to be 15% off, and that ends next Saturday. So you have 1 full week to get the discount. The code is Feb15. Code for discount. I'm putting that in the chat right now. So you'll also, if you go to the website, the main slider, the little bar up the top will all remind you of the promo code. So don't worry about that. And if you get our emails and texts, you already know about this discount. So enjoy and stock up on what you need. You have until next Saturday. And if you have to talk to Aston first before you can buy, try to get those requests in soon. So that way he doesn't have a backlog and then can't get to you before the discount is over. Aston, anything else you want to add about the discount?
Yes and no. Yes, those of you who are on your protocols, the powerful protocols, because you need them, because you want to get better as fast as possible. You want your bodies to get supported as fast as possible. Take advantage. of those upgraded formulas. As you know, you've been using them, they work so much faster, and we discount them to enable you to be able to stay in your regimen or your protocol until you're better. So please take advantage of that. It's us giving back to you. And then, I gave my speech before. It's very concerning for us to see so many people, older people, younger people getting cancer. It's on the rise. Just Google it, go to CDC. We don't know why. No one knows why. There's a lot of speculation. We talk about plastics, nanoplastics in foods, in the air, in the,
Water.
wherever we are. So the best support is to start rebuilding your genes and DNA, or New Genesis will help you to do that. Rebuild your immune system, or immune system formulas will do that. At minimum, start doing that, and that's detox. If those of you are not taking the detox, you should be taking all 3 bottles for the blood. It helps to detox the blood, help to detox the lymphatic system, the digestive system. Go in them and stay in them until hopefully our government or our medical system can find out why cancer is so significantly on the rise, especially breast cancer and prostate cancer, endometrial cancer, colorectal cancer. Those are some of the top ones, and it's the whole world. These cancers used to be confined to racial groups. And now they're not even looking at racial groups as much as they used to. They're just saying the whole world, young and old, are getting more cancers and dying. So I don't believe there's a conspiracy going on. I don't think the government is trying to kill off some of the 8 billion people. I don't think our government is that smart. And I'm sure most of you will agree with us that our governments over the last 20 years have not been very smart as much as what they do. They don't even deserve to be where they are leading the country. So, but we have to take things in our own hands because we know better and we can do better. So ladies, you have those 5 organs that turn to cancer very easily. So if you have a diagnosis, fix it, let it get away, let it go away. Whatever the issue is, you do what you need to do to make it go away. The dense breast, the fibroids, the low blood count, the low hemoglobin. If you have ovarian cysts, you have a thyroid nodules or thyroid issue, you should fight. Because if you don't know, I was talking to one of our children's doctor a couple of days ago, and he was saying the same thing. He's about 80 years old, and he was saying the same thing, that he never imagined that while he's alive, he would see cancer proliferate the way it is, especially among young people. And then for older people, it's worse. So you got to take care of yourselves. Nobody's going to do it for you. Your insurance is not going to do it for you. One of you told me yesterday that you're paying over $1,000 a month for insurance, and you don't know what you're getting back, because when you need the labs, your doctors don't want to do the labs. You have to wait 6 months or a year, even though you're sick. It's sad, and it's likely going to get worse, at least in the United States. It's will likely get worse, and it's it's not the doctor's fault. It's our system. It's the way the system is. So take care of yourselves, ladies, and then men. Prostate cancer is on the rise in a massive way, and even if the men who survive it, they lose their prostate, they lose their lifestyle. They lose so much when the prostate is fried by radiation or removed surgically. Your life is not the same. It will never be the same, because our bodies don't regrow prostate glands and regrow all these testes and all these other organs that become deformed by radiation or surgery. It's devastating. That's devastating for the whole family. So if your PSA is elevated, take care of it. If you have urine frequency, take care of it. If you have urgency to urinate, take care of it. It's only going to get worse, and there's no medical science down the road that's going to help us. You got to help yourselves. And why am I saying that? It's because we feel your pain when you come to us, and we would we'll be a lot more happy, healthy people than people who are suffering like you are. So
Yeah.
it's
For
the
those
love
of
in
you who
us
are
speaking.
trying, I'm say that again, Aston.
It's the love in us for humanity that's speaking.
Absolutely. I want to just quickly share my screen and show folks who are trying to engage with NuSpecies in more detail to take care of their health and get all the benefits that come with being part of our community. I'm just going to quickly present my screen to show our website. All right, just make sure everybody can see. Yeah. All right, so when you're on the site, I haven't logged in yet, but you'll see there's this widget down here, earn points. If you are not logged in on our website, it's going to prompt you to join now or sign in. So you can click here to sign in. And if you click the wrong thing and you realize you don't already have an account, you can click on create an account and you'll fill out these prompts. My browser just keeps trying to fill in my stuff here. So this, you can come from this widget, or you can just go up to this avatar here and log in or create an account. Now, some of you are saying that you try to create an account and it doesn't let you. It could be because if you have ever placed an order with us over the phone and gave us your email, that's sort of like creating an account. It's just not an account you can access because a password wasn't created. So if we have your email in our system already from previous orders, what you really need to do is click forgot password. You never created a password, but that's the only option to click forgot password, use the email that you've been using with us for your orders, and then reset the password, and then you should be able to log in. What's most important about logging in is because then you can track. So I'm gonna log in here, and you'll see how the widget changes. So now I've logged in. Now it actually tells me how many points I have to spend. It tells me which rewards are available to me. If I click on redeem, I can see that I have rewards available to me and how many points that they will use up. If I want to earn points, I can actually be told if I tell them my birth date, I'll get 10 points. If I refer a friend, I'll get 600 points. If I like us on Facebook, right? So it's going to tell you all the ways you can earn. There's even a card on here that you can actually scan in our store, so we can just pull up your account with this. So anyway, actually logging in makes it easy for you to manage your own rewards and get the codes you need to redeem your discounts with us online or in store. I'm just going to click back over to see if you have any questions. Okay. If you have any further questions about this, let us know on the YouTube channel in the shorts section. There is, I can stop sharing now. There is a little video I created about how to redeem your rewards, especially if you're shopping on your phone on a tiny screen. You have to do some copying and pasting. So I show you how you can do that. But that'll enable you to earn the points and redeem the points very easily all on your own. We can help you a little bit on the back end, but it is a big burden on our infrastructure on the back end to be doing things manually. So it's really best if you can make sure you have an account on our site and manage your points on your own. All right. Anything else, Aston? This has been great. Please subscribe to the channel before you leave as we are wrapping up now. Make sure you take advantage of the discount this week. It ends next Saturday. The code is FEB15, FEB15. On our website, you saw when I just shared my screen, the code is there, so you can't forget it. You can get this discount in store or online. You can call over the phone to place your order for us to pack it up, so that way you don't forget to redeem your discount. With folks who are placing their orders for pickup, if you don't pick it up within a month, we are going to refund that order as a store credit and put the items back in inventory. As you know, we keep our products really fresh and we don't like things sitting around for a while, so we want to actually sell those products. And then the store credit will be on your account, so the next time you come in, you can just use that to place your next order. But if you're trying to reserve the discount and you don't know if you'll be able to make it in time, that's a great way to do it. I referred someone up to yesterday. Okay, excellent. So if those people buy, not only do they get 10% off when they buy, but you'll earn the 600 points. That gets you 5% off. So, and then the more people you refer, the more discounts that, or maybe it's, yeah, you earn enough for a 5% discount. So keep referring people, use those links. You can't get that special referral link if you don't log on to our website. All
Okay,
right.
so I know you all don't like the world the way it is, so let's make it a better place in the little way that we can. Let's make it a better place. And even if we don't love people, like people, we don't care. We're going to make it a better place because there are the people who we love and like, and we can choose who our friends and family and neighbors are. So even if we don't like some of them, we still have to make this world a better place. We can't throw our hands in the air and say we're going to do nothing to help one another. We have to help one another because if we don't, the bad guys are going to step in, and then we have to do what they want. They're going to tell us what to do. They're going to tell us what to do, give us bad foods, bad air, bad water, bad, whatever, wherever we live, environment to live in. So we have to make this place a better place. And we begin with helping one another to live better and longer. And that's what NuSpecies is all about. So thank you all for all the referrals you're making to us and all the people you buy products for, whether abroad or here. And now, try to help us to get more people to listen to our Q&A. It's very important to have this knowledge. This knowledge is even more important than our products, because when you all have this knowledge, you're going to be able to do more at home to help yourselves. And that's what we actually want. We want you to have self-reliance. We want you to be able to help yourselves. So help us spread the NuSpecies knowledge and make this place a better place for all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here today. This has been a wonderful session. It just excites us every week. We see more and more people joining. Please continue to tell your family and friends. We always put up the next Q&A, usually a week before it happens on our YouTube channel. So you can go grab that exact URL and share it with your WhatsApp family group or your family chat and invite them to join, especially if you know they have health issues. We're good with the skeptical questions. It's okay if they're not like true believers just yet, but the help that's out there for them. And at least, how we see it is we want to clear our conscience and be sure we did everything we could to try to tell our family and friends what we can do for them. And then you can give them a shot. Let them ask us their tough questions. We're happy to help them understand how we can or maybe can't help them. And then, you've done your part. So share the Q&A. And yes, Diana, hit the like button, people. We would appreciate that. We like to be liked. Who doesn't? And again, it makes it look like what we're doing is valuable because it is. Unfortunately, we have to convince the algorithms of that. So help us out, subscribe to the channel, and like our content. We really, really do appreciate it. Aston Darnett's going to call you today. No problem. Give him a call. And oh, okay. I sometimes I'm reading the chats and I'm not positive I'm going to translate accurately so that I change my mind. But all right, everybody, thank you so, so much. We will see you here next Saturday at 10 a.m. Please sign up for our email, our text, and download our app so you always keep up with what's going on, especially once the Brooklyn store officially opens. We look forward to seeing you there.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.